Welcome to Doom, the Dark Ages. Let me turn down the volume just a smooch. There we go. So, yeah, I wanted to have a look at this game. I'm running the Game Pass version. I'm gonna be using my Steam controller. You cannot really get the Steam overlay to work good with Game Pass version. So what I've done is I've created a desktop profile with mouse and keyboard, and that works great. So I'm not doing this game supports HDR. I'm not recording in HDR because I didn't feel that HDR added a lot of oomph. I've read something about HDR maybe not working as great for others also, so I'm doing normal. You know, let's crank the volume a little bit more back. But yeah, so Steam controller, I'm gonna try this game. I'm coming out in this Doom game kind of fresh. You can see my metrics on the top right corner, you know, Ryzen 5600X, 1440p. I'm using an Nvidia RTX 5070. I was terrified the performance was gonna be shit, because this is forcing ray tracing, right? And that is demanding, especially if you tried Unreal Engine 5 games. It's just, ray tracing can be crazy demanding. You know, 5070 is a high-end, maybe, I don't know, mid to high-end graphics card today. But this game is just running in the first section here like a dream. Really, really like a dream. So if you just want to see gameplay, use the timestamp. I'm gonna just quick peek through the settings for you guys, because I think it's very good for you to fine-tune your gaming experience to know the settings. Side note, I'm gonna be using headphones for, you know, music and banging to the guns, right? But yeah, use timestamp to get to the gameplay. I'm gonna show you the settings. So first we have this one, the kind of normal gameplay settings. You have a lot of things. This is nice, auto sprint. The problem is that every time you sprint, the Doomslayer makes a noise, and you have this vignetting speed thing around the corners, which sucks ass, because this feature is great, but the problem is that I hate the sprinting vignetting around the screen, and I hate having a grunting sound every time I try to go forward. So it's a great feature. I think it's broken the way it is. You need to be able to disable the Slayer grunting when sprinting and the effect. Otherwise, it's a great feature. It makes movement much more fluid and nicer. Right, so weapon bob off for me. I don't like that. This is not nice. You can, if you want to hot swap between weapons, or, you know, in the weapons class, auto switch weapon new on. This is also good, because I hate it when you know, it just swaps to a weapon I don't want and it just fires it. Haven't touched this. I don't know if I'm gonna need this. It seems like a good little thing to have. Moving on. Font stuff. Seems like good. Yes, nice little things here. Nothing that I haven't touched anything here so far, except for this one. I love this. I don't like white subtitles. I feel it's much more pleasant to the eyes, or my eyes, with the green color. So this is love it, and I love that you can turn on or off the background. You know, background. Yeah, the background on the subtitles. You can also turn that one on and off. Not here though. You have, yeah, okay, here, this, you turn all those down. Okay, so I don't know. You can turn off the background somehow. I think it might be here. This is nice. You can turn off screen shake. Weapon bob here also. Aim assist is obviously off. Yeah, here you go, subtitle background. I don't know why this should be, you know, here. Here, not here. That, no. This is stupid. All of this should be in this menu. Alright, moving on. I think it could be starting at around 70 to 80, but this is nice. You can oomph a little bit or lower it. Seems to be good options here. I'm using headphone mix, so I'm hoping that's gonna be the best oomph for my Sennheiser HD6XX. So, and here you can see I've turned off Slay Pain grunts. The problem is that when you have every time you sprint, there is a voice cue anyways. So, mouse settings seems good. I haven't really messed with this, so just nice. I've disabled controller support because Steam controller here again isn't gonna hook into the game, since I don't know how to add this Game Pass game to Steam. So I'm just disabling controller support to make it less buggy. And, you know, desktop profile set to all mouse and keyboard seems to work great so far. But yeah, you have some nice little settings. I'm just disabling this for safety reason, because I don't want any auto-aim. It's nice tweaking the weapon wheel delay there. Here we have a keyboard mapping. It's a mid-tier kind of thing here. Everything is default. I mapped it to my Steam controller. So how this is gonna work, we're gonna see later, but here you can see the settings. This is for the Slayer, and then here you have another one. Seems alright, reasonably. I don't think I'm gonna like this thing. This seems like ass though. This in particular seems like a stupid thing. I don't know, this just makes me feel like I'm gonna hate this part. It just doesn't seem good at all, so we'll see. But it's good, you can tweak it to your liking, but a turret, I'm probably not gonna like the turret section either. Menu controller tweaking. And for the map, really nice thing. Seems probably gonna work fine. And probably the biggest thing that we are terrified of, the performance. So, window mode, 1440p. I'm going for 120 frames here, or on hertz. I turned VSync on, I don't like tearing. And we're gonna see if it feels sluggish or not. I don't know, I'm just keeping this as default. We have the medium metrics for you guys here to see what's going on with the performance. I've increased the field of view a little bit. Disable, I don't like this. Don't like this, disabling. This is default, I'm disabling this for sure. I hate grain. Grain and chromatic aberration are my least liked, so I love that you can turn it off. I am using DLSS, but the 5070 here in 1440p at the starting section of the game, it might be much more demanding later on. I could use DLAA with Ultra Nightmare settings, everything cranked, and I got like 100 FPS. So the problem here is that I've seen this discussed more. Is that the preset slider, it is like 10 FPS difference from like low to Ultra Nightmare, which is not good. But let's continue my settings here. So I'm using balance because I don't feel that visually for me it's bad. So I'm doing that for just safety reason, to get the consistent 120 frames. I'm turning on DLSS frame generation because again I just want to be sure I'm hitting 120 all the time. And the thing is missing here is a frame rate limiter, because if I don't, in Nvidia control panel I have forced a frame rate limit to 120 Hz. Without that, if I turn on frame generation and I'm getting, you know, maybe 100-ish FPS, it will go to like 160 or 180 frames. And it's creating a lot of frames that is just not doing anything for the gaming experience. So I'm limiting the frame generation to 120. or the game's FPS. And no matter if I use the VSync on, off, or adaptive, whatever, it doesn't make a difference. Every time I turn on frame generation, it just goes way above my monitor's refresh rate, and it is stupid. Give us a frame rate limiter, we need it. Seems nice, you have XeSS FSR. But yeah, I'm going with frame generation balanced to get a locked 120 frames. Again, not using HDR because it didn't really have the oomph I wanted. Love that you can turn off motion blur. So you can see I'm going for ultra settings because I can't really tell a difference. So I'm like, okay, to be quite honest, I could probably play this on low and it would be fine. I could play it on Ultra Nightmare, it would be fine. So I'm just, okay, I'm going for Ultra because that should just be a good middle ground, and yeah. I'm increasing this to the texture pool here to 3 gigs from 2 gigs by default. I could go up to 4, haven't had any problem here, but maybe the VRAM users will just creep slowly up. So for safety reason, I'm starting this game with Ultra and texture pool at 3 gigs on my 5070. Texture filtering should just be anisotropic filtering and stuff like that, so I'm cranking that to the max, because why not? But you know what? Let's go with Ultra. Let's just be a nice little Ultra setting here. Just for good measurement. And you have colorblind mode down here. This is annoying. Every time you start a game and every time you change a setting here in the graphic, it recenters the window to the middle, which means I have to reposition it. But this is a good settings here. I see nothing problem here to tweak lots of stuff. The only problem here is that again, going from low to like Ultra Nightmare, there is very little FPS difference. So the quality difference is also very hard to tell. But let's get into the game. This is what I've been doing, 5 minutes or 10 minutes, just trying the performance and stuff like that. So start from the beginning. We're gonna go with Ultra Violence. I've read that this is an easier game than Doom Eternal, and I played Doom 2016 on Ultra Nightmare. So we're starting with Ultra Violence. And this is a bit annoying, but you have to go through this. They're telling you some crap that we don't want to care for, and then we get into the game. You can manually tweak stuff, and maybe I will do that. Especially maybe this one. Maybe I want it to be faster. That could be something I might want to do. But we'll see. But this is the Ultra Nightmare, Ultra Violence setting, so let's start the game. Let's see what's gonna happen. Okay, looks like VSync isn't working. It looks like there was tearing there. Or if this is a pre-rendered video, that was weird.
It is close. sensor.
The barrier is still holding, but our scans show that 3 portals were opened from inside the village.
The demons couldn't get past the barrier, so their followers are letting them in. Thera.
The transports. How much time?
Get me the new bishop. Valen's armored division is still an hour away.
We could try and launch the Outlands.
There's no time. Bishop Creed. We need him. The village of Kaleid is a mining settlement. If it falls, everything will be destroyed, including your Sentinel energy reserves.
Launch the Slayer.
Total purification targeted for the village of Kaleid.
Alright. Nice intro. Alright, and you're right into the action. So, I'm gonna do something for you guys here. I'm thinking just for this video here, just so you can see the performance better. I'm gonna turn off this one so you can see what kind of performance I'm getting here without anything like this. And I'm gonna turn off, we're gonna turn off this just to get the best. Let's do that, yes. So you can see the performance. Oh, interesting. Alright, yeah, that's fine. So you can see the performance here, the raw performance, right, without the frame generation. But again, if you didn't watch my settings going through, I really miss here is a frame rate limit for like 60, locking max settings, everything, and then using frame generation to get 120 frames. There's no frame rate limiter. Every time I turn on frame gen, it goes way above my monitor's refresh rate, and it just is unnecessary. It just makes my graphics card works harder than it needs to. It just makes frames that isn't gonna be good for me. It's a terrible thing. You should really have an option to be able to get like 60 locked frames, or you know, around there, and then having like the frame gen going up to like 120 when it is 2 times frame generation. But here we have. So with OBS recording here, I'm doing game recording here in OBS. I'm getting around 100 frames in 1440p with DLSS in balanced mode. VSync off, I'm using ultra settings, and we'll see how it's gonna go.
The Slayer has been activated.
And the texture pool size is set to 3 GB at the moment. And yeah, it's using 8 GB at the moment, so let's just run through this. Right. Bomb. Right, I've... Yep. Yep. So, alright. I'm not gonna go into if this is a Doom game or not. I think that's gonna make the game experience worse. I'm gonna go with this, is this a fun FPS game? Because otherwise, just like Doom 3 is a great game, but when I was playing, you know, kind of from Doom 1, 2 and Doom 64, it just was, whoa, this is so different, this isn't Doom, and it kind of made the things worse. So yeah, I'm just gonna be going at this, is this a fun FPS game, how does it feel, and I'm gonna let you decide for yourself, is this a Doom game, is this whatever. What I can say is that this, at least this map, it has a very kind of grayish, toned down look compared to 2016 and Doom Eternal. That's gonna be personal style if you like that or not. So now I'm gonna, since if you didn't watch my settings, I'm gonna turn on one settings because I really need to showcase, this is a terrible thing. You have an auto sprint options, which just is, I don't know why they have a sprint in this game. They should just yeet that mother beeper out of here. It is useless. It's just annoying. But hey, you have an options. You can always sprint. It's great, right? Yeah. Every time I move, I get this. No! When you turn on auto sprint, turn that one off. Just no matter what, have an options to disable that. Also, let us disable this vignetting blue crap bullshit. Like, no, this doesn't work. This option is so annoying, so I can't use it. I would love to, because the movement speed feels great with it. I like that. I want to have auto sprint on. I think auto sprint should be just disabled, take that one out, make that the base speed of the Doomslayer. This is too slow. Make just the sprint is useless, okay? I hate it. So far I hate the sprint. It's not that we don't need it. Just no. But if you're gonna have this auto sprint options, right, and you have sprint, for the love of God, let me disable the vignetting and the freaking sound, because this is like, also the sprint is a toggle. I haven't really, I don't know, maybe there was in the settings a way to disable a toggle and have it hold. Let me do that very quickly as for you to see if there is. Where the hell is it? This, right? Do you have a sprint toggle? No. I don't see a sprint toggle. So, yeah. Haven't seen any sprint toggle. Or to make it hold or toggle. So it's just a toggle. Sprint is just a toggle. But yeah, that's the first thing. I really don't like the sprint. Just that yeah, that's bullshit. other than that, the movement seems pretty fine. I would like to disable those pickup vignetting also. I haven't really seen a place. I'm gonna have to deep dive in the settings even more. There is auto fire, that's nice, so you can just hold down your fire button. Right, and here you have your, can I guess, glory kill style. So far it feels pretty decent, gameplay-wise. It's gonna tweak this a little bit. Oh, hi guys! Bye guys! Bye-bye! Yeah, so far the shooting seems pretty fun and everything. I'm not like a great parry blocking guy, but nothing too crazy so far with how the shield works. Might be so yeah, so far the shield is not bugging me, it's not feeling bad. But again, if it's Doom or not, that's gonna be up to you. I'm just here, is this a fun FPS game? So far, except for the sprinting, yeah, it feels pretty interesting.
The Slayer is dangerous. Keep your distance.
And I would have liked a little bit more of a saturated look, for sure. Not this kind of grey tone down, but that is personal preference. And again, there might be different... it might be a different saturation history when we get to outdoor levels and other places, so...
Weapon drop incoming in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, this is weird. Right. Yeah, this is terrible. So... Alright. Let's wait for this animation before... Okay, good. So, you saw there was press G to use. Like, this is so bad, because Doom 3 you had use being your fire button. In Doom 2016 you have use being like melee, right? And the same for Doom Eternal. And that is great. That means there is one less button, you know, to be having to map and have a control over, and it just felt natural. And I don't know why they did not let us just have the melee button or the E button to be the use button. Maybe this will make sense later in the game. This is just... Why are you doing this in a worse way than previous? I was so confused. Why is there suddenly a need for a separate use button? That was one of the greater things that I admired about, you know, id Software. But when the Doom games, Doom 3 came out, like, whoa, I don't have a separate use button, and it is amazing. I'm just interacting here with the panel with this. Wow. Why? I'm hoping that it will make sense in the game, but I think they just messed up here again. This is just new team doing some new bullshit, and it should have just been E to pick this one up. Sorry for ranting, but it's just a little thing that can annoy you. Press E to perform a melee attack with your power gauntlets and consume a charge, blah blah blah. Will drop ammo, okay, so... Right, they're going with this loop again. Right, we're gonna see how that's gonna feel. Right, and I can see that my melee is under the crosshair there. Right. Can I... Do I have to fight you? Hello? Okay. Perform a 3-hit melee combo by pressing it rapidly. Okay. Alright. Okay. Right. We'll see how this is gonna feel. I like the shooting, I like the shield with the dash. This melee thing, I'm not sure about. I'm not entirely sure about that. You do have a jump button, but it's not really necessary so far.
The main gate is under lockdown. There's a key in the nearby church. Route him the location.
It feels pretty interesting so far. I almost died there, yeah, I'm not sure how much I'm gonna like the melee thing. That's the first combat thing that's yeah, okay. The sprint thing and the melee thing so far. Yeah, I like the shield actually. So far the shield is smooth, it feels natural, fluid. Again, it's just that I would like to be able to have always run on without this, the sound and the effect. And then the melee thing, we'll see how it's gonna be, how it's gonna turn out, if I'm gonna have to use it a lot or what's gonna happen. Not super fan of it so far. But hey, it works. The melee so far works. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it as much. But it works fine. Oh, right, now we have this. Parry and blah blah, recharge your melee faster. Right, so green you can parry, and red you can block up to a certain point. Block right before getting hit by green to deflect it back, yeah. Makes your melee parrying attacks, recharges your melee strikes faster, alright. Oh, woo. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to, I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna have to change one of my desktop configuration here real quick. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna change my little Steam controller thing here. I'm gonna remove my dual stage trigger. We're gonna remove that one, and I'm gonna do this. Oh, there we go. That should be good. There we go. Yeah. Because yeah, I had my left trigger to be soft pull the shield parry, and full pull to being shooting, and that made, you know, you pull your shield out and you can quickly then dash attack towards an enemy. The problem is with parrying here, I seem to like accidentally hit it all the way down, making me miss the parry and then just zoom right up in the face of the enemy there, in not doing well. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure, like, the basic parry has worked, no, the blocking has worked fine. This parry thing, so there is a setting, I might make the parry window more relaxed, but yeah, I'm not sure how much I'm gonna like this parry crap. And again, if it is Doom-like or not, that's gonna be up to you to decide. I'm just here to decide if I think this is a fun game to play. Right, now it's working much better here. There we go, yeah. It's unfortunate, my dual stage trigger was messing me up a little bit there. I would have liked to have the dual stage trigger, but yeah, for this game I don't think it's gonna work for me. And that's a me problem, that's not a game problem. Alright, we are full on armor. But we'll see how fun I will find. The parry thing here, it's kind of slows me down a little bit, I feel like I'm just standing there waiting to do something. So I'm not, I'm on the edge how I'm gonna be enjoying that one. So far the ultra violence difficulty seems like a normal difficulty to me here. Everything's going smoothly, but this is the tutorial section, so...
Cultists are traitors.
He's at ground zero. He located.
Right. I'm not that focused on the story, but hey, it's here. Alright, I have to... Alright, and shortcut back. press to bring up automap and view the mission area in your dossier, blah blah, and we'll show you where you have been and where you yet to go. And then blah, check it. Oh, right, the map. Oh. How do you rotate? That's that. This moves it backwards and forward. How the hell do you rotate? Rotate. Oh, okay. There we go. With this one. There we go. Right. Okay. So, okay, it's showing points of interest going forward. So this is going to be more of an open world type of game. You're gonna see how that's gonna feel. I really like the more linear, little bit more hunkered down feeling of the classic Doom. But we'll see how it is gonna feel here with this open. So I have like left, forward, right stuff. How do you... Wait. I'm sorry. Is that not... I was... let me try something. Okay. Okay, I must have messed up my my little controller configuration. I need to fix that. I could have sworn I did this correctly. Buttons. Oh, I did not. There we go. Oh, now it should work. Alright, yeah, I had to do some desktop configuration here for my Steam controller. I missed one little button here. There we go.
Once he kills the demon, the portals will collapse.
Let's say to view your current objectives and activate object markers in the world. Bump. Holy shit! Right, so I'm doing a little bit more worse. It's because I've changed my dual state trigger. I need to relearn some things. Right, so this felt a little bit more like a bullet hell game. Which is weird. Yeah, this is a little bit weird feeling, right? For sure. Like this open world type of gameplay here is definitely a bit weird feeling. Okay. Shield guy. Oh, oop. Ooh. Right. So it's telling me there is a secret up top to the right here. Yep, it is. Alright, alright. So, I think this is a little bit of problem to me, right? Both Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, it was much easier to spot the enemies. This kind of grey fogginess is a little bit distracting to just easily spot some enemies. It might have a good aesthetic feel, but for the quick combat, it's a little bit rough spotting enemies. Yeah, a little bit rough to spot it. There's another secret down. Oh, okay, you go. It's a very interesting combat thing. It's very bullet hellish. I'm not sure what I'm feeling about it. Again, the enemies is a little bit tricky to spot with all things looking like grey foggish. So where did I respawn? Where the hell am I? Oh, here. Oh, wow. That's annoying. Okay, so that's that. Yeah, this open world thing it kind of slows me down a little bit from this kind of combat loop thing. Yeah, this is a bit weird. The combat, like, it feels like it's better to not be too aggressive. Like, staying back, just waiting for the parrying and that to happen. Which is interesting. Right, so don't know how to open that one. Looks like you can get to that in some way or another, but I'm not sure how to open it. Yeah, the entire game just feels a little bit slower paced and like quite different things, you know. I'm still not sure how I was supposed to open that one. It would be nice if it was marked like as a door on the map. So have I just went in a loop now or what? Probably. Well, I guess I'm supposed to go back again because this is not open, so I need to get the key card. Right, so what is this? Why not just use the melee button? Okay. Right, you have one weapon. Full automatic weapon, that's a launcher, blah 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 blah. It's equally effective from close range, blah blah blah, as you can stay on target. Okay. Hold Q, blah blah blah. What? Previous weapons, okay. Okay. Right, so we have something down behind me. I need to get up somehow also. Okay. Sure, okay. Right. Oh. Right, so the key is to my right, maybe? No. Wait, what? Okay, come on. Wow. Oh, shit.
All hell gates closed. The village is secure.
Mm-hmm.
Tier 5 readings in the South Bay. Incoming.
A Titan has been summoned.
Right, the key. Oh, secret key. Okay. And what does that mean? Secret key. Jesus. I don't know what the secret key means yet, so... Oh, is this the secret key thing? Okay. Alright, so this opens the secret thing here. That one is to continue. I might have missed stuff behind me, but that's fine. Alright. Oh, an extra life. Ah. See, we've been playing for an hour. Okay, soon. Time to wrap this look at the Doom the Dark Ages up soon. Alright, so we can jump down or we can walk down. Oh. What the? Okay. Huh. That was annoying. That was annoying. They just spawn in behind me. Right, so that was a bit of a weird thing. It was hard to tell the enemy just spawning in behind me and going crazy. A little bit weird. Oh no, turret! Okay, alright, that's good. I think there's nothing more to get here, what I can see. I might have missed something, I'm sure of it, right? Right, all the way back here, someplace, but yeah, I'm not going for 100% or anything like that, so... That's a perfect first look at this game. Why? Why the G button? Oh, I have to... What the fuck is this? God, wow. Yeah, this feels like shit. What the F? Oh my god, no. Yeah, I did not like this. Oh wow, that's... oh shit. How far am I gonna get set back? Okay. Again, why do I have to press G to use? Why can I not just use melee button? And this, it's so dark, it's hard to tell what's an enemy and what, like, yeah. This is... This is so bad. Wow. Oh my god, yeah, that was a terrible thing.
They lied to us. And now he has a leash.
The Makers felt a weapon as powerful as the Slayer.
Should be guided.
And you agreed.
He's not one
Of us. They want assurances. And so did I.
The beast is tearing through our ranks once again. And still, you continue to be influenced by this outsider. It is not this witch who is forced onto the battlefield against the Slayer. All the power of hell cowering before one man. Our enemy is divided. The time is now. And the heart of Argent gives us the power to conquer the beast and crush his allies. The Horde is yours to command. For now, Prince Azaric. I will be informing the High Council of your progress.
They fear him, and so your dominion over hell is not absolute.
Avoid the Slayer. We should focus on breaking the humans first. Then resume our search.
$66. Wow, well, I guess I did absolutely shit terrible. Okay. Interesting. Okay, half the secrets. All the codex, alright. One out of that's fine. Yeah, that's fine, I don't care about skins. So I'm guessing the problem here was the secrets. That could have been much more nicer. Okay. I'm gonna stop here and I'm gonna talk about my thoughts about this game now. If this is Doom or not, that's gonna be up to you. But this is definitely just like Doom 3. It's very different things from the previous. You know, Doom 1, 2 and Doom 64 and then Doom 3. Very different vibe and style of gameplay. And then you have Doom 2016 and Eternal is very different from Doom 3. And Doom The Dark Ages is very different from Doom 2016 and Eternal. So if you think this is Doom or not, that's up to you. I think they all fits in the Doom universe, but they play very different. So you can't attack this. If I were going into this from the perspective that I love Doom 2016. I think Doom Eternal is okay. I would just be disappointed. It would be, you know, this is not great at all. So I'm not gonna go in with that. From all I saw from the trailers, I was like, okay, I have to attack this in a different way. So let's take the easy things first, like audio. It seems fine. Music seems good. If you like that, there's a lot of personal preference there. So, you know, I think it has some meat to it when you use the shield to hit enemies. Some beefy sounds to the shotgun and what the other type of gun I got there. So audio is great. You might love it, hate it, or think it's different, but it's no problem there for me. And then you have the visuals. It's a beautiful looking game, but it has a very, from Doom 2016 and Eternal, that are more of a crisp, saturated look. This is more of a grayish, less saturated, toned down feeling. And a lot of personal preference there. I think I prefer Doom 2016 more sharper, saturated look than this, especially when it comes to spotting enemies and stuff like that. And again, I'm hard to point out too much about it, but I tried the HDR and it might add a little bit of more saturation and stuff, but it wasn't, you know, HDR oomph-y, and it might be HDR needs to be patched, to be tweaked. It might just be that they, with this game, they have just they have just chosen this. We're gonna have this less saturated, less crisp kind of game look because we wanna feel that fits more within the darker vibe that we're going for the game. Maybe could be. And yeah, control wise, input wise, you know, for me so far it's working great. I am a little bit terrified, or not terrified, but I'm not looking forward to it. They seem to have you only have 6 weapons right within the menu that you can see, and so far it works great. You know, I can just swap between the 2 weapons really nice and quickly. But I have read that they have gone with an approach that you're gonna have 2 weapons like on the same button. So I'm not sure how that's gonna be. I've read someone saying that, you know, hey, I press to swap to the shotgun, but I wanted a super shotgun, so now I have to press the same button twice. And that's not fun, that's not good, that's not something that I'm gonna enjoy, but I haven't seen that in this far in the game, so I can't comment on that. What I can comment on is that input-wise, I think the sprint is bullshit and should just get out of the shit. It's not, it doesn't add anything. It adds nothing here. The only thing it does is add annoying, because you get this vignetting and this annoying sound every time sprint is happening. At least let me, you know, turn on always run there, or the auto sprint, and let me disable the vignetting effect and the annoying sound effect. Because yeah, so far it's just it's a useless button. It's so annoying to just, it should be the base speed should be just tied around in that. Sprinting here in this game is absolutely not adding anything, in my humble personal opinion, adds nothing in this type of game. Doom Eternal, you had a dash, that dash added in that gameplay. We didn't have any sprint or dash in Doom 2016, and that was amazing, that was great. And in this game, it's just, you're pretty much just gonna be using sprint when you're, you know, if you want to get close to an enemy that is staggered, or if you want to just traverse the map. Because when you're in the combat, like, having sprint works forward, not sideways. So it's like when you're dodging projectiles, you can't use the sprint to do that. So it's only going to be when you want to close into a staggered enemy, because this game, I feel, Doom Eternal and Doom 2016, you were more up in the face of enemies. Here, it's actually been better to be a little bit back, wait for, you know, parry or snipe out enemies a little bit, and then when they are staggered, use a sprint or your shield and a dash to get close and, you know, execute them and do that. It's more rewarded here to be a laid back approach than to be a forward approach, if that makes any sense. And that also ties into a little bit of the gameplay here. Like, this is, again, it's very different. You have this, you had a little bit of exploration and a little bit of, like, you came across a closed gate, you went and you picked up a key card, you come back, right? You had a little bit of that in Doom 2016 and Eternal. In this game, you know, it is much more like open-ended, and this is, again, you might like it or you might not like it. I think I would have loved more of the classic Doom 2016 style myself, but hey, you know, if I'm just coming into this knowing this is the mechanic, I'm sure it's gonna be fine-ish, right? I'm gonna be able to work with it, but it's not something I feel is my personal best preference there. And then again, we also have this weird decision when you come to gameplay inputs. Why do we suddenly have press G to use, to open some things or to collect weapons? Why the beep? Makes no sense to me. The only sense that I can think of is that you have these kind of limited melee tree, and they were afraid that if you were to go and interact with something, you were to press too soon and you would waste one of your melee options. So they were like, oh shit, because that happens in Doom 2016 and Eternal. You know, you punch the button first before activating it, because you're not gonna wait for the prompt. You're just gonna go up and like use muscle memory or whatever to try to hit it. So they just, shit, we don't want players to get frustrated wasting one of their melee buttons or melees just by opening this weapon crate or whatever. So, oh shit, let's just add a button for it. And I don't think it's necessarily the best approach. Sure, they could have used something better way here, but like they could have just had pressed the shield button instead, and it would have been a non-issue. They could have worked around it, but I think, you know, that's the only reason I can see about it. And also we come to the gameplay here, the turrets. Like, it's so, this is so, you cannot go in here with Doom 2016 or Eternal. Like, you have to like put that as far back as you can, and you're just gonna think, okay, this is a FPS game in the Doom universe, and then you're gonna try to set your expectation low and then you see how you like these little things, because the turrets, oh my god, nothing like that in previous Doom games, right? So again, if you're expecting the previous game, you're gonna be disappointed. Now personally, some people here might think that is a cool section. I myself think that was shit. It was very difficult to spot enemies. I wasn't sure, like, when they shoot at me, like, I died there. I'm not sure how it works with that. Should I block? Can I disengage from the thing or whatever? It just felt really, really bad and awful. And the entire pacing of this game is such a difference. In the previous, right, I was on attack mode. I was on dodging mode. Here I am on laid back mode. I am on like, hey, when is the green orb coming at me? Hey, holy shit. And then suddenly, oh, enemies spawned, and I couldn't really tell. There's so much noise and there's so much like gray fog and stuff, so it was hard to tell. So I'm like, shit, I need to just lay back, let enemies spawn in, find a place here that I take out, and then when they are staggered, I can like use sprint or dash to get close and then finish it up. It's a very different tactical feel here, so but that's my approach difference here. I'm sure that other players might just be right in the middle going zoom, zoom, zoom. But this has more of a bullet hell feel to it than like just an action shooting vibe that the previous has. So, you know, for me to adapt, I'm probably going to take approach of I'm gonna lay back a little bit more instead of pushing myself to be in the middle, because that is probably what I feel. I'm gonna get killed so fast. So if I want to survive here, it's better to lay back a little bit. And it's just a different type of game. Yeah, and let's end this with the performance and stuff like that. So on a 5070 here, it is running like a dream. It just no problem. It's super good here with the settings here, you know. I'm using balanced mode. I'm using like the ultra settings with 3 gigs of VRAM pool. VRAM used here is just around 8 gig, and I'm getting like the 100-ish FPS. It's super playable, super nice, no VSync, no frame gen. I do feel that it would be nice if they could let me lock the frame rate to a lower or to a max of 120, so that I could use 2 times frame generation, just crank everything to the max. It would be super stable. And my GPU didn't actually need to work at maximum then, because again, if I can get around 70 to 80 FPS, then you can use frame gen up to 120, and that means that, you know, since I'm getting 100 FPS, that would mean that my GPU could work less. It would be making less noise, using less power. It's just, that is really what is missing here. But graphically, again, it is a very beautiful game, but I think it also is again, they are going for very different vibes. So if you are looking to the more saturated, crisper Doom 2016 Eternal, and then you come into this, and you prefer that more saturated, the higher saturation, higher color oomph, and more crisper look, and then you're coming to this, you might think that this looks worse, or this looks bad, or this looks not good. But the animations, the lighting quality, everything here is really top notch, really good looking, but they have a very more, you know, gray toned down, less crisp look going for it. And it's definitely not, you can say that, hey, this is because you're using DLSS, but I tried it with DLAA on, you know, and just, no, it's not that. It doesn't change that. It has this more gray, less saturated, less crisp look to it. And yeah, it doesn't mean the game looks bad, but it does mean the game looks different. And you might not like it as much, or you might find you like it more, or it is whatever. So obviously the big thing is this Doom, right? If you're meaning that the Doom is Doom 2016 and Eternal, no, then this is not Doom. But I feel this is Doom. It's just like Doom 3 and every, you know, other things. It's a different vibe in the Doom universe, and you're gonna have to try to figure out if you like this as a game or not. But it is the vibe is very different. So looking back at Doom 3 again, is a beautiful, gorgeous game. It plays very different from the other previous games, but it's still in the Doom universe, Doom monsters, Doom kind of hell vibe. But that is not my favorite Doom game. And just like this is gonna be interesting to play forward. It seems okay, fine, you know, above average for me. But for me, it's probably gonna be that Doom 2016 was the peak for me so far in the Doom games, in the modern Doom games. And you know, Doom 64 probably was what I really loved the most from the classic games. And they are all Doom games to me. They are just different, and you need to like see what you are gonna to like the most of yours, for yourself. So a lot of rambling here, but I'm looking forward to play more. But I'm also, there is things that I'm not loving, like the sprint. I'm not loving that. I think it's useless. The turrets and the dragons and the titans sections are probably gonna be ass to me. Something I'm not really liking. The combat, I'm sure I'm gonna get into it, actually. It feels like I'm probably going, except for maybe how the weapon swap is gonna work, if you're gonna have to press the same button twice to swap weapons. We'll see. But the combat seems a bit interesting, and the rest of like the exploration and stuff, it's just okay. It's fine. It's just not a top notch for me. So, you know, it's going to be interesting going forward. It's probably going to have its ups and downs a little bit. The biggest problem combat-wise is going to be that enemies can spawn like behind you, and I'm not really hearing it, or I can't see clearly because of the art style going. That might get me killed because I'm suddenly like surrounded by enemies, and I'm just like, wait, what? Damn it! I didn't get that. I didn't see that. But I'm looking forward to play this overall, but it's not gonna top Doom 2016 for me. And it's not gonna be like, I probably, even if I turn down the difficulty, would enjoy Doom Eternal a little bit more than this one, because it is more straightforward attack mode, shoot mode, and this is a little bit more laid back, parry and blah blah blah, a little bit more like that. It isn't really 100% my style, but it still seemed like a solid game. And to end it, I think the biggest weird thing here is to me, this thing that's like stands out is that going from ultra nightmare highest graphic qualities to the lowest, it's about 10 to 15 frames difference. It should be like much bigger scaling there, I feel like. I don't know, maybe my CPU is holding me back or something. But that is like the biggest like question that I'm curious to see if Digital Foundry or something some later on is gonna explain. Why is the low preset and the Ultra Nightmare preset such a little visual difference and such a little performance difference? But performance-wise, it has been really excellent, and it seems to be all over the place what people think about it. But yeah, for something that has the performance of a 5070, performance is gonna be great, I feel like, in 1440p or 1080p, or maybe with 4K with higher upscalings, like performance mode upscaling or whatever. But I can't speak for lower end graphics card like the Intel Arc B580 or the RTX 3070 or the AMD equivalent. But I've seen people mentioning that they've gotten, you know, on like the medium settings at like 1080p or 1440p with DLSS on or off there. They've gotten around like 60 plus ish frames, and it's very playable, very good looking. Like I could play this on the lowest settings and it's still visually a very nice looking game, so I don't really seem to have a problem. If I would have had my B580 here and I could run this with around the 80, 90, 100 frames on, you know, 1080p or 1440p with some XeSS on the low settings, I would still have a good gaming experience. So, but thanks for watching. Maybe try this. This is the Game Pass version. It's not too expensive to try on Game Pass, and you can try other games on Game Pass at the same time to see if you think it's fun. I haven't touched on price because it's a very, you know, difficult topic, but just quick before we end. The base price of 70 euros here, I think it was 70 or 80 euros, it's not happening for me. That is way too much, and the game would need to be Doom 2016 plus level for me for that price, and this is not. This, if I would have paid that price, I would have felt a little bit, damn it, I paid too much. And I don't think, I think it's a shame that we have this early access, play another like 20-30 euros for 2 days extra gameplay. Like, we gotta stop. We cannot get it. We cannot keep doing that. Don't buy that. Don't endorse that. Don't support that. Just don't. It's really stupid. It's just like insanely stupid to me. But hey, if you think that's fine, that's your choice. But yeah, for me personally, since I'm not like this isn't a top 10 game for me, right? The price tag is too high. If that is for you or not, that's gonna be personal things. If this is a top tier game for you, I think the price probably gonna be okay. If you think it is, you know, mid, you might be like me, that yeah, no, a bit too steep. If you don't like this game, it's gonna be way too shitty price for you. So yeah, that's it. Maybe get the Game Pass version to play this and other games. Maybe look into reviews and try to look in trailers to see if it's gonna be for you or not. But you know, feel free to leave a like, a comment, follow, check back to my channel if you don't want to miss me trying demos and games and stuff like that. Twitch.tv/Halkenstrong is where I'm going to be streaming this game and other games going forward at this point in time, so you might want to check that one out. But if nothing else, thanks for watching, have a great day, and bye for this time.